a fan sneakily went straight for Sinner's kit from the front row seat courtside and attempted to steal something from it.
September 3rd, 2025, 10:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Arthur Ashe Stadium was still buzzing after the night session, the kind of match that felt like destiny. Jannik Sinner, the 24-year-old world #1 tennis player, had just closed out Alexander Bublik under the lights of Flushing Meadows. The scoreboard still glowed with his name. Fans were screaming, the kind of roar that makes history echo through New York concrete. And then it happened. As Sinner walked toward the fans, smiling, sweat still on his brow, he slung his bag over his shoulder, the same bag that carried his rackets, his phone, his wallet, even his passport. He bent down, towel in hand, to gift a young fan. At exactly that moment, a man in the front row leaned forward. Cameras zoomed, fingers reached, and the zipper of Sinner's bag slid open. You could see it, frame by frame. The audacity of a stranger trying to unzip the life of the world's number.
My phone, I have my wallet, I don't know. So,
one tennis player on live television. The crowd gasped. Some thought it was a joke, some thought it was a dare, others thought it was something darker. Was it just theft, or could it have been worse? In that split second, security didn't know. Nobody did. But what they knew was this: the champion of the US Open was 1 second away from being robbed on international broadcast.
In a shocking moment that played out at the US Open, a fan tried to unzip Italian superstar Jannik Sinner's bag before being stopped by the security.
Security lunged, swarming the fan, yanking him back before the bag was pulled open. The man's face stunned, caught in floodlights and forever in replay clips. Sinner stiffened but didn't lose composure. The cameras, ruthless as ever, replayed the grab in slow motion, captions already flooding Twitter. Bag thief at the US Open. But here's the part that made the world's jaw drop: the punishment. After all that chaos, after one of the most brazen breaches of athlete security ever caught on camera, the fan wasn't cuffed. He wasn't charged. He wasn't even named. He was escorted out, given a warning, and set free. That's it, a warning. Within minutes, outrage boiled over. Hashtag Sinnerbag and US Open fail trended worldwide. The clip wasn't just replayed, it was remixed with villain soundtracks, cut into memes, looped into TikToks that racked up millions of views overnight. Because fans weren't just watching a bag being unzipped, they were watching the line between fandom and violation shatter. The betrayal cut deep. Sinner had paused to connect, to give back, to share a moment with the crowd. And instead, one hand turned that trust into fear. And when the organizers called it a security success, when they said the team did a great job, America rolled its eyes because everyone knew the truth. You don't unzip a champion's bag on live TV unless security has already failed. By the morning of September 4th, the headlines weren't just about the bag. They were about the decision.
However, his attempt was well spotted by a security personnel who thwarted him from opening the bag.
The USTA's final punishment was nothing more than a slap on the wrist. A warning. A pat on the back for someone who reached into the belongings of a world champion while millions watched. The outrage was deafening. How is this not a crime? Demanded sports lawyer Mark Stein in an ESPN panel. If you unzip a stranger's bag at LaGuardia, you're arrested. If you unzip a world #1's bag at the US Open, you're escorted out with a smile. What message is this sending? And the celebrities? They piled on. Martina Navratilova, never one to stay quiet, lit up Twitter. Security last night was insane. This is not how you protect players. Her tweet exploded, quoted thousands of times. Meanwhile, stars who had been stuck in security chaos earlier that week, Bruce Springsteen, Stephen Colbert, Michael Douglas, Catherine Zeta-Jones, suddenly found themselves tied to the same narrative. their names trending alongside Sinner's bag.
Had an amazing time, but come to think of it, you know what? A lot of us did come home murdered.
Because when Trump showed up at the Open, security turned the event into gridlock for celebrities and chaos for fans. And yet, somehow, a fan still reached into Sinner's bag. The optics were brutal. Celebrities trapped in endless lines, fans complaining about mistreatment, and a player left exposed. All while the USTA called it handled. The memes told the story better than the press releases. One viral TikTok showed the fan reaching into the bag with captions like Ocean's 11 US Open Edition. Another compared the incident to pickpockets on the Paris metro. And every comment section screamed the same question: how does this happen at the most prestigious tennis tournament in America? But the fury wasn't just about the fan, it was about the system. Because if the punishment for unzipping Jannik Sinner's bag is a warning, what's the punishment for worse? If someone wanted to plant something? If someone wanted to harm? Where's the line?
Why? Maybe he thought, I bought the ticket, I deserve a racket. Wrong way to go about it.
And here's where Miss Cathy turns it to you. Who failed Jannik Sinner more? The fan who reached for his bag, or the USTA that excused it with a warning? Drop your hot takes in the comments, because this isn't just about one bad fan. This is about a system that thinks security is optional, and that's why the scandal kept growing. Because people weren't just angry at the fan, they were angry at the organizers, the so-called guardians of the sport. This wasn't the first scandal of the 2025 US Open. Just days earlier, the world watched as a CEO snatched a signed hat from a boy named Brock. Another theft, another betrayal, another viral clip that turned a sporting moment into a PR nightmare. And now, Jannik Sinner's bag. 2 violations, 2 viral scandals, 1 tournament. The narrative was too obvious to ignore. The US Open was spiraling out of control. Security experts lined up on CNN and BBC to call it a wake-up call. If you can unzip a player's bag, you can plant something. If you can plant something, you can endanger the entire stadium. Fans replayed the clip and shuddered at the what-ifs. Because this wasn't just theft, it was vulnerability. And yet, the USTA doubled down. They praised security. They defended the warning. They insisted the system worked. But America wasn't buying it. Sponsors are nervous. Broadcasters are livid. Players are whispering about boycotts if the system doesn't tighten. Parents are tweeting that they don't want their kids courtside anymore. And every headline keeps circling back to the same truth. Jannik Sinner trusted the crowd, and the crowd betrayed him. Meanwhile, celebrities caught in the chaos kept the outrage alive. Tabloids ran photos of Springsteen and Colbert trapped in lines. Navratilova's critique went global. And Sinner, calm as ever, saying the security team did a great job.
You know, my phone, I have my wallet, you know, I don't know. So, but, you know, I feel like the security is doing a great job.
That phrase became the most ironic meme of the week. Because when your bag gets unzipped on live TV, the last thing people believe is that security did a great job. So let's be clear, this isn't just a story about one fan. It's a story about arrogance, about negligence, about the collapse of trust between athletes and the institutions meant to protect them. Because when a player can't trust the crowd, when celebrities can't trust the system, when fans can't trust that chaos won't explode into disaster, the whole event cracks. He tried to steal Sinner's bag, and the US Open gave him a warning. That's not discipline, that's permission. And that's why this isn't just scandal, this is crisis.